Most of these women nowadays, they're not dating because they're really trying to get to know somebody. They're only dating to try to extract resources.
Every woman that believes that this perfect man would be the person they're going to submit to is the reason why they're never going to get a decent man. The guy that you're waiting for you to submit to, he doesn't exist.
For me, real talk, I have no respect for men.
Every woman's nature to be submissive. I don't think it matters how educated we are.
Damaged men are men who watch their misogynistic father rubbish, abuse, maltreat their mother.
Weeks back, one of the ladies that work in my she comes to my shop. She started off in like a juvenile detention center, and she's leveled up all throughout the whole system. So she started in education. Then she went on to like working in like the juvenile system and the courts and all of this. She's a big attorney now, right? But when she started, she said, Q, you know something crazy? And I said, what? She said, what I've noticed, whether dealing with females or males, she said, when they don't have a man in their house, they rebel against structure. She said they rebelling, they cannot take it. She said that when I was with a man facility, the boys always rebel more so against the men. And I said, why do you think that is? She said, because they don't know how to receive a man's voice because they've never heard it, right? So it's like their ears are like plugged to it. And then he said vice versa. The girls, she said vice versa rather, when the girls heard anything from a man, if he wasn't he didn't fit the bill of what she saw as a father, she wouldn't respect him either. She said she would treat him like no respect. And then she said on top of it, however, they more than likely, if they're in that facility, chances are they have bad relationships with their mothers. She said, so they would take it out on us also. And I was like, which is sad. She said the only time she saw them really submit to more so grandmother figures. And she said that's when she saw them more submit.
I don't know if you agree, but I always tell Q, and this is where sometimes the comments go crazy on me, where I feel like I tell Q that I think it's in every woman's nature to be submissive. I don't think it matters how educated we are. I don't think it matters how we were raised. I think that a woman submits to safety, security, stability. And when I say provision, I don't just mean financially. I mean emotionally, spiritually. I think that every woman has a softness in her. And I think a lot of men mistake submission for control. And that's where sometimes it gets lost. Some, you're right. Some women.
Right. Ladies have to be willing to submit, not because a man, well, yes, because a man is strong, but you can't say things like that. Oh, submit because of this, so submit because of that. You should submit because it's in you to submit. Once again, they talked about this the last time I reacted to them, but that's God's ordained message for all females. Submit to your husbands. But shout out to the podcast here. This is from Empowered Dynasty. You can check out the link in the description. Let's continue.
Some men mistake it for control, where I feel like you can't control.
He's right.
I mean, we
He's
know
right.
who that is, though.
But it's true, though. Read that, Tyler? It's true. It's
Most
true.
women submit to finances.
Yes.
I don't think that's accurate.
I think you're making you the standard.
So, Shay, to your response, we were just talking about this before you came. For me, I was raised by my mother. My grandfather passed away. My grandfather passed away in 89. So I was not exposed to a mother-father dual parent household. I was raised by women. And the stigma of being a strong Black woman. My grandmother owned and operated her daycare during the day and worked at South Nassau Community Hospitals for 30 years at night. My mother got up and went to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. My aunt went to work. So it was literally, we were raised to be independent for the absence of the adults in the household. So for me, real talk, I have no respect for men. And it wasn't always like that, but where it came from was when my father did come back around, I was 17 years old, and I asked him, why weren't you there? And his response, and I told Q this, he was like, oh, well, I didn't have a father, so I didn't know how to be a father. That was the very moment. Up until that point, I always gave him grace. Even when he was never there, I always had that little glimmer of hope, that little girl, like my daddy's gonna come and save me one day because my mom is being mean. And then when he said that to me, what he didn't know was where he assumed my mother probably instilled in the he-man woman hater, which she never did.
Yes.
My mother never talked about my dad. She was just like, yo, if you want to know, you want to talk to him, we'll make it happen. But when he said that to me, my respect not only for him went out the window,
Yes.
for every man that had to come across my path, it went out the window.
Wow.
And there's nothing they could do to gain that trust because I didn't know the blueprint for them to gain it. So for me, I honestly say I don't know what it is to be submissive because I have not had the examples. Now,
Agreed.
I've had a friend and he knows he
know
played
him.
football.
Yes.
His parents and his father just passed away, but his parents were my example. But I didn't live in a household with them.
Yes.
I didn't know what it looked like when they got in a disagreement. Because to me, to understand how to be a wife or whatever, I learned from TV. I'm watching A Different World. I'm watching Martin. I'm watching, Claire Huxtable to me was one of the most dopest black mothers that could ever be because she had a career. She was a lawyer, but she still came home and disciplined the hell out of them kids.
Yes.
But
It was
I
very
didn't
feminine.
know it. So for me, I can't buy into the submissive idea. And I'm also into the church. So I know what the Bible says about it, but I still can't buy into it because that's not my lived experience.
Yes.
Now, I want somebody to be that provider, to be my partner, but I know it's going to take some work on my part because that's not my lived experience. And I'm not going to put them through the wire and say, you're going to have to, you have to do the work. But I know that's my reality.
Yes.
And so I know it's different for everybody, but for me, it's just different. And I can't really when the man says be submissive, I'm not even listening to that conversation.
Okay, but I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
I just want to piggyback off that question. Do you think every man has the ability to be a provider?
No.
What about you?
I don't think every man has the ability
No, there's a reason why I asked
to
you yes or
be
no.
Financially.
A provider.
If you're well and able, if you got arms and legs and you're able to
think
work,
every man has that
I
ability?
think you should have the ability to provide in some sense. Provide doesn't mean take care of me. I'm not saying take care of me, Q. I think being an independent
that's
woman.
Not the question. You took it on to a whole nother tangent. That's not what.
Okay, but I'm just letting you know by provider, I don't mean take care of me.
Okay,
but I
no,
think that
but
if you
do
should
every
be
man
able
has the ability to provide?
Yeah, you should.
But you know why a lot of men
should.
don't have the ability to provide? Because they don't have the mental capacity to provide. There are a lot of women that can't submit because they don't have the mental capacity to submit. That's why when you said every woman can be, that's not true. Hold on, let me finish. The way you are raised can alter everything about you as a human being.
Okay.
You can have a dog act like a cat. And I'm not comparing humans to dogs and cats. I'm just using that as an example of whatever you are around, you evolve to, and you are, you become. Right? You can be a 17-year-old bitter young woman who hate men because you were a 17-year-old woman in 17 years being around bitter old women that hate men. So guess what you do? You regurgitate information you've never even experienced.
You know, it's funny when he said you can have a dog be a cat. If you look on YouTube, you can look on certain television programs out there. There's dogs. There's very well lions or kangaroos going around acting like dogs. This happens. And the lady just explained that.
You've never even experienced these things. I do believe this, and I hate to say this. I genuinely believe that most people, and especially from what I listen to women, they have a fairy tale man that exists in their mind that don't even exist. And I've never met him. I've never met him. I'm like, yo, this guy doesn't even exist. But they create this thing in their head. And I think it's social media and television. It's created this persona. Look at the UK. The UK has said they're no longer allowing young minds to be on social media because they're literally getting tainted by social media. Now
the brother was cooking. I'm going to let him cook. But before he continued, right? You see what he said? Young kids on social media. Right? Then, no offense to this brother here. He may not know. Men that do this don't know the issues that need to be addressed, so they just talk on things. Right? What am I talking about? Things like this.
I'd rather see a woman take care of her kids than leave her kids. I'd rather see a woman feeding her kids than starving her kids. I'd rather see a woman that doing her job as a mother than be with a woman that ain't taking care of her business. Why you don't want to be with a woman that take care of her house? She take care of her daughter and her son. They going to school. They looking good, feeling good, They happy. You don't want to be around a happy home. You don't want to be around that. You must be raised by a single mother, because some against single mothers. You must have hated that your mama raised you by herself without daddy being around. So you always wanted your father. That's why you always bring it up. Oh, the man must didn't want to be there. She can't keep no man. Where the daddy at? Where your daddy at? That's the problem. You don't know where your daddy at, and you mad. Because them kids got a mama that love them. That's the problem. You still mad at mama, so you mad at her for raising her kids. She ain't did nothing wrong. You can't put the hurt that mama gave you or the hurt that daddy gave you and put on a woman that's doing good for her children. So you have some resentment, you have anger issues. Get away from a woman if you don't love the way she love her kids. The truth.
And you know, the sad thing about it is because when I listen to this man, he sounds like a baby mother. I don't know who you are, but that's how you sound. You sound like a baby mama from the South, right? But this happens, and what is it? A pillow cushion. A pillow cushion gets put behind their back for no reason, right? I understand he's trying to make his money. Of course, they're going to watch. Oh, yeah, say it again. I didn't even want to show the comments because that's what the comments say. Say it again when they need to be hearing this.
See adults who are easily influenced by what social media pretend to be, and they think that they warrant that, and they're gonna get that, and this should be my life, and if it ain't my life,
that's entitlement. We're not talking about entitlement. Being entitled and submitting. Okay, so similar upbringing. I grew up with my grandmother. My grandmother didn't have a man in the house, you know. I moved in with my mom. My mom didn't have a man in the house. My mom and my grandmother didn't teach me how to be a wife or how to submit to a man. They taught me to be independent. My mom worked her butt off. Same PhD, boss. She taught me, like, you will not need a man. You'll be able to tell any man to kiss you, blah, 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 because you this. But yet and still, I feel like when a woman finds that right man, she will submit to a certain degree. Because I feel like every woman has that softness in them. No woman grew up saying, I just want to be strong, independent. I don't want no man. I don't need no man. We grew up in the fairy tale.
I agree with you.
Wanting to be married, wanting to be this. Every girl, we played with dolls. I'm not talking about the new transgender world, and now I'm talking about how we traditionally grew up. It's in us. So if it's in us, it could come out of us. But I think it takes the right person. Just like I'm speaking from the woman's end, you can speak from the guy's end. I think it takes that right man to bring that out of her. That's how I.
Well, again,
what I believe.
I'm gonna say why I disagree is because you see, one day you said a man should take me out of and bring me into my, what's the term? My feminine, right? If a man said that same statement, he would sound so crazy. But if a woman said it makes every bit of sense. That's crazy.
Q, but I'm talking from a woman.
I ain't cut you off. I'm just saying, a person has developed who they are over time. And they're the way they are because they are who they are. Everyone thinks they can do something until they into something. I know dudes that said they wouldn't snitch until they caught a case. Everyone talks amazing until they got a situation. So I don't care what, hold on, Shay, I didn't cut you off again. I don't care what people say when they don't have the circumstance. Every woman that believes that this perfect man would be the person they're going to submit to is the reason why they're never going to get a decent man. Because of the fact that the guy that you're waiting for you to submit to, he doesn't exist.
Yes.
TikTok indeed.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist.
I disagree.
It's perfect man.
And
like,
I also have to look at it from the perspective of like.
But I don't get like that when you disagree or agree with me. What I'm saying to you, it's in every woman that has that submissive quality, and that's what I believe. Yourself? And no, I'm not speaking for myself.
Would never
because
submit.
Some people agree.
I'm saying that if you find
some will, Q, some will. But I think sometimes it takes a person. It takes a certain person. When she meets that person that brings out that softness in her, you'll see something different. You'll see something different.
I disagree.
You will see. You can disagree. It's okay.
Crazy.
Why does somebody have
not
to
even say bring it out of you, but whatever he presents. When Ike said, "Oh, women submit to finances," that's not true. Not every woman is submitting to finances. You got these new age women that are out here but like I told Q, for every woman who will submit to a finance is a lame dude that's out here spending on her.
Submission looks like what you're taught.
You know, it's either one extreme or the other. And she just said it, right? It's either they're submitting to men for finances or they're submitting to men for, right? That bark loud, no bite. It looks like a bite to them because it looks like masculinity and aggression. And it may not be that, right? It may be that he shows qualities that they feel deem him a certain way, but it has to be in you. That's the argument of today. It has to be inside of you, in your core. And I like that the lady admitted it. The lady with the cap on, she admitted it. I don't know how to be submissive. I'm not submissive. The problem with her, because she talked about this last time, she still thinks, oh, if a man does this and brings it out of me, why do I have to bring it? That's the same thing as saying a man has to handle you. She doesn't realize it though, but that's sort of like what she's saying. A man shouldn't have to handle anything. He shouldn't have to bring it. It should be there. That's all he's saying. It should be there.
Her.
If you never were taught submission, in
Well,
most
I
cases,
like this
you
response.
will
It
learn
says
it.
submission
No.
also doesn't happen for boyfriends, and that's the difference,
Exactly.
right? We have to, okay, but to that point, no, because that, but hold on. You can't give every
Hey,
man
showcase
and
it.
you can't give every woman
Exactly.
the same blueprint and layout.
You give
we
them the
have
same
to
sex?
be no. But let's
gave them the
before
same
but
sex?
wait, before we get there, because
You
not
gave them the
everybody
same
is doing
sex,
that.
though?
But what I'm saying is though, we have to have a conversation about our mentality. If our mentalities are not the same place, there's no way I'm having I'm thinking about being submissive. I'm not doing that. We have to. There has to be more than just sex, right? And that's what that video that you posted is what she was saying. I know how I became a single mother. I met a man, was dating a man for 90 days, and her outcome was now she has a baby.
Yeah.
And now she feels like she couldn't achieve what she wanted because she wants a partner.
Yes.
And so we have to decipher what we want. But that takes some reevaluating and looking at and some reflecting on you. For me personally, I had to choose to not date nobody for a minute because I had to be a mother. My reality is my daughter's father died. Either I'm going to be in the streets and keep doing what I'm doing, look for a stepfather, or I'm going to be a mother.
Yes.
I chose motherhood, right?
With the big
And
girl
with that
panties on.
came new job, new opportunities, new mindset. And I'm sitting here with you, right?
100%.
Because I chose to be a mother. Now, where I'm at now is like, okay, because I've gotten to the point where I'm semi-satisfied where I'm at in life because there's other levels to where I want to achieve. Now I want a partnership. I don't want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that because
Yeah.
that's too much figuring out what we're doing. We need to come to the table with, we both have ideas of what we want.
Yes.
Now, for me, if we can come to the table knowing what we want, then I can do the submissive thing. But if you come into the table with some foolery, I know you're going to agree to disagree.
I wanna
But if you
respond after.
come into the table with some foolery, I'm not even, but based on my lived experience, I have to consider.
Okay.
For me to be submissive, there has to be some consideration, okay? I'm also a Gemini, so there's two sides to me. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna always be transparent. I'm not gonna be that hussyfoot. I'm gonna tiptoe. I'm telling you, I'm coming to the table with.
See, so this is the energy of today, right? Then this next video, it boggles my mind because you have this, right? Oh, well, you have to show me this. You have to show me the world. And she's not saying show me the world, but she's saying show me the world. Show me you deserve it. A man has to earn it, right? But the bashment comes with things like this.
A misogynistic men believe that damaged men are men who were raised by single mothers. Now, let me tell you the truth. Damaged men are men who watch their misogynistic father rubbish, abuse, maltreat their mother, and they watch their mother accept it, normalize it. These are the toxic.
You see, I come from that kind of household, right? But what she thinks every situation is bad. There's a lot of situations that are the best situations in the world. Of course, some drama happens, but you get through it. Nobody's perfect. Like these females expect perfect marriages to happen. And that'd be why they don't have a man.
Men that is giving us headache today. Most of the men today that we are seeing today, all of them grew up with 2-parent home. All. Look at them. They are still expecting their women to accept the things their mother accepted. Allah, you all wanted your woman to accept the toxic environment your mother lived in.
So now, with that being said, now you see why it's bad when they say, if a man earns it, or he has to show me, or depending on what he brings, it has to be in you. End of story.
But just imagine if I told God, I'll be a Christian when I see you. Imagine if I said that to God. Imagine if I said to God, I'll be a Christian when I see you. When I see you, the day you show me your face, I'm gonna show you I'm a Christian. You sound like a fool. The reality is, you are what you are before someone. Listen, a man that has built himself up, and he's kind of man that these women in particular want, he's not gonna wait to see that. He sees it from day one. Submission, meaning I'm looking to be with a man, and I'm not aggressive. He's not trying to change you. We're not 21 anymore. These grown men who have their life together, they're not looking for projects. They're not looking for people they have to fix. They got to prove to them that I'm worthy of being submitted to. Because they go.
And a sad thing, you heard what she said, oh, I'm a Gemini too, and handle me. In every way, right? She said, handle me.
I want to find that person that's willing to do that. It
Women aren't looking for projects either.
Okay, I never said that. But again, when you're dealing with people who believe wholeheartedly, just imagine, just look at that same analogy. Exactly. God, I will believe in you the day I see your face. You sound crazy. But yet still, hold on. When you say that I will be submissive when I see somebody that's worthy to be submissive. Listen, you can tell a very submissive woman. You can tell a woman who's not hyper aggressive. You can tell a woman who's very feminine. You can see it. You can see it. You can see it. Right? And if she's not, when she get mad, she will show you her true nature. The aggression has been in that person for 40 years. It don't leave. It don't leave. You get me mad, you'll see every bit of my neighborhood come out of me. It don't change. But you learn how to tame it, but it will still come out when things not going away or I get upset. It's just what it is. A person that was soft, bro, they still soft. Right? You can act tough all you want, you're still soft. It is what it is. But again, you create whatever you want. You can lie to yourself. I know men are not looking for women to fix it. And
super passionate.
Bring out her feminine. Yeah, because you want a man to work on you. It's crazy. It sounds crazy when you hear that. It sounds crazy. All my friends are millionaires. All of them. They're never going to do that in life. Ever. Because 9 out of 10 of them is lying. They want to be in line for these guys. They don't want the regular. I'm going to tell you something crazy. And I'm going to say something logical. When you take a 40-year-old woman, right? Or a 50-year-old woman, and she's still waiting for the right man to give her the life that she couldn't make for herself, she sounds like a bum to me. That's a bum. That's a whole bum. Because I'm not going to wait for me to get a wife to build myself a home. I'm going to buy my home, bring my queen to it, and then let her help make it better.
Why are you yelling?
But again, you see,
passionate.
but again, it's just weird.
It's
weird.
They saying me and you coming up with the masculine
No,
energy.
but see
crazy.
what you're doing is swaying away from what I said. What you're doing is swaying away from what I said. I'm not going to allow you to do that because what I said wasn't, oh, she's just waiting for the right man to show up to bring up. I am saying to you that women as little. May I finish?
You kept doing that when I was talking. I'm gonna do the same thing.
So go ahead. I'm saying to you,
I just want you to feel the same way. I'm gonna talk while you're talking. Yeah, because
we grew up.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing just to show you how you do. You do it every time I talk, but I'm just do the same thing. You don't like it though. You do it a lot.
It's not even I don't like it.
No, I'm just saying you don't like it though. You don't like it.
You go.
So when I do it to you, give what you want back to you.
You go. Like I said, most girls, when we grow up, I feel like we grow up wanting that fairy tale. I feel like most little girls want the fairy tale. You want the marriage, you want the wedding, you want the husband, you want the this, you want the that, right? I'm saying to you that through life, whatever, I'm not saying for all women. I can't speak for every single woman, but I do think I speak fair and clear when I say most of us, we have that in us. We have that softness. And when I say it takes the right person, I don't mean I'm waiting for that guy to bring it out of me. I just mean
She initially said
I'm gonna say all. I'm gonna go back to say all.
Women.
All women have that in them.
That's what I disagreed with, right?
But I'm gonna stand on that now. So let me backtrack.
I don't agree.
No. All females don't have it in them. statistics are around for a reason, right? If most single moms, let me tell you one, right? Most children that can't read come from single parent homes, single mom homes, right? Or the children that end up going to jail come from single parent homes most of the time. You would say that's fact. Why is that fact? Because the man is not there. So that submission is not in you. And I hate to call out what happened, like you cutting him off. Don't kill me if you see this. I know they're going to see me reacting going, oh, he's calling everything out. I'm just stating facts. That's what we see. But not to put that in there, but the man is making sense. That's why he's raising his voice. It's more than passion. It's being right. And what a lot of ladies have to understand, because there's a lot of back and forth going on social media. That's why social media is that good. Because what social media does is it makes it look like the men are just complaining. It does. Guys like me didn't go across these waters for no reason. There's a reason. And so many other men are starting to think the same way. And even men that are not going across these waters, right? A lot of men are putting a pause on relationships, right? Because you have this being done. Also, you have other situations. I'm gonna get into that later.
Let me backtrack and take out
They don't
some.
have it.
I think all
You said
women.
some of us, I agree.
Okay, I
I
think
agree.
all women have that potential to submit, but I think to the right person. You have said many times that
Yes.
you have said
Now you're
90%
right
of
to
men
me.
you know are bums. This is what you've said. 90% of men
it's
that you
just-
know are bums. You know a lot of bums out here,
I know
and
a
a
lot
lot
of
of men
bums.
are leading blindly. So why
100%.
would a woman submit to someone that's leading blindly?
Who told me to do
Why
that?
would a woman do that?
Why would they give a kid to this bum and then complain about it? Why
Okay, Q. Why would you give a kid?
I think
why
the
would you
worst
give a
thing
kid?
is
You're
to procreate
absolutely
with a
right.
bum.
Both.
But I think the worst thing to do is procreate with a bum.
I agree with you.
It's the
I agree
worst.
with you. But a lot of times you may get into these relationships and some of the red flags are ignored and some aren't seen. Because a
Oh,
lot of
my
people
God.
pretend. A lot of people pretend and they lead with their representative, and let's act like we don't know that. You ain't never knew somebody for a year or something, and all of a sudden they did something like, oh, I
Not
never
after 2
knew
or
this
3
person
kids.
would. I'm not talking about having multiple kids with them, Q. Even before you have a child.
Yeah, I gotta pause it real quick because he's speaking of is this.
Absolutely right. But that's how you know that most of these women nowadays, they're not dating because they're really trying to get to know somebody. They're only dating to try to extract resources from as many men as possible. That's their whole game. I heard somebody on social media actually make a great point. They said that a lot of women nowadays have taken tactics from 304s, women of the night, strippers, dancers, those type of women from that life, and they're using those tactics on everyday men as everyday women, not realizing that you can't use 304 tactics when you just trying to date regularly. Like if you really trying to date as a regular woman.
And that's what's happening. And I'm not saying that you ladies do that all the time. That you two that's here on the panel. But I'm sure you've done that somewhat to a man. Oh, a man has to show me. Look what it says. I felt like women are taking the coffee part way too literal. A lot make it seem like you have to sit there and drink coffee. Coffee date or equivalent is a great way to vet a person. That's true. And I wonder if these ladies will be okay with a coffee. Maybe, but I'm sure most likely not.
And you trying to meet a husband, you cannot use hoe tactics. And that's what a lot of y'all doing. When I heard that, I was like, bingo. He hit it dead on. That's exactly what it is y'all using. I've known 304, so I know they tactics, and that's the tactics that y'all use. Sad.
Yeah, and that's what's going on in this day and age. A lot of ladies are adopting this mindset. It's sad to see.
A year and a half later, you may not have known certain qualities in this person initially. It's like you start dating somebody, everybody shows up with their representative in
But
the
that's not
beginning.
always the truth,
All of
though,
a sudden,
Shay.
this man ain't doing the
It
same
happens, though.
thing. In marriage, in relationships, and everything, it's not going to be the same further down. Stuff just doesn't work out. Things
But
happen.
I think people ignore the realities and they try to create something in their mind that is not there. Because you ever seen a situation within minutes? I'm gonna be honest, as men, we get around men and I'm like, yo, come on. And then, like I said, I will never diss a woman I had a child with when I've chosen to have a child with that person. The reality is something about that person was pleasing to me in that moment. So the fact of the matter is that a person that can't be accountable and always blaming the men for being this and that and they were fronting. No, you were fronting yourself.
Who's blaming the men?
No, I'm just saying, if a person always says things like, oh, the man, he wasn't showing who he really was. And like, come on, sister, that was your bad choice. You got to own it, live with it. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Like, it's you. It's not the man. It's you. If I chose a bad child's mother, that's my fault. I have to own it and live in it. It is what it is. I don't look for trying to change the scenario. What I do is try to work around the scenario and try to fix it and just live in it. It is what it is, all right? You can't fix it. You can't come. I just don't think people lie that long where you end up getting pregnant. That means you get pregnant fast. You get pregnant. I'm lying? Damn. No, sex is one thing, Tyler.
How you come back?
Tyler, sex is one thing. But pregnancy is a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game. You tell me that person lied to you so long and you got pregnant by them? Wow. And there's no accountability as adults. I'm a little scared. I'm just a little scared. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, every woman that turned out to not be good to me, I've seen what I've seen, and I ignored what I've seen because I wanted to see what wasn't there. And I'm
you
gonna
will
own
hope
it.
that they would become better,
100%.
right?
Every
You
single
hope that
time
they would become
I
better.
failed, yes, I failed in a relationship. It was my choice. I'm not projecting onto somebody else what I did. It is what it is. You stole, you got caught stealing, deal with the consequences. Your hand is in the cookie jar. Own it.
And you
I'm
knew some of
owning
your
it.
stuff was missing, so
Yes.
you should have addressed it, but you didn't address it.
And when I accepted it, guess what? I was messed up at the time. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be fair and honest. There was a time where I dated women. I told you earlier. Matter of fact, I was telling you, I dated women that was very verbally abusive. Because again, I come from a mother that was very vocal, and verbally, it was abuse in a sense. Like a lot of the whippings that we got growing up was borderline child abuse. It was borderline child abuse. Because if it happened today, if it could happen today, you going to jail. That means it was abuse. You understand? It was abuse. What I'm saying is, I accepted women that was verbally abusive because why? I thought it was normal. But then when I got older, I realized that it wasn't normal. But initially, I didn't know any better. So when I got older, I said, wait, in order to have a healthy relationship, I thought initially, the woman has to talk to you crazy.
But what was the turning point when you realized? Was it another a healthy relationship or accountability?
I started being accountable and started realizing, like, wait, the only reason why she's doing this to me is because I'm allowing it. I'm not going to say, oh, she talks crazy. You allow it. You can't sit there and say, oh, my girl disrespectful. And
You hit on something there. I want to check a little further in the conversation.
10 months. I want to do this. We got engaged. We had our child. There were red flags there too. That I definitely was like, you know what? No, I have a kid outside of this. I'm going to make this work. this. All I'm saying is, we get into these circumstances and we can't always perceive the outcome, right? And I'm not saying if things don't work, it's because you made a poor decision. Sometimes things just don't work for whatever the reason. But I do believe that, yes, we all have the ability in whatever relationship it is to soften up. Q, you've had different relationships. You have kids. You know the experience, but the person that you're with now, you love. And you feel like outside of everything else you've had, this is the person for you. So I think, I'm not saying there's somebody for everybody and the grass is always green on the other side and we should just all just live like unicorns and not make relationships work, but I'm saying
You going?
No, I'm done. I'm staying here.
And to tear down the stigma, and Shay just told her story, but not all of myself. I'm not sitting up here because my daughter's father left. He's deceased. Yeah. So we have to tear that stigma down that every single mother is in this situation because it didn't work out. 100%. So to the person who put that that comment in the chat, you have to humble yourself because that's what's wrong with the Black community. And this is why Black women sometimes respond defensively because you come at us and thinking we're all just laid up. And it didn't work out. I'm sorry, that's not my circumstance.
Yeah, but like when you have these discussions though, and I'm just being honest, most women are in line for the same 10% of men. and they want all the same aesthetics. The man that sits the same. If you listen to a woman and tell her to describe a woman, most women would describe the same man. They would describe the same exact man.
So what he said right there is the main problem. And you know what a lot of females don't realize? You know, I saw it in the new Woo Lady, the new female dating guru. It's came to a head now. A lot of ladies are not realizing, as a lot of ladies said, they're dating like 3 or 4s and don't realize it. Not these ladies, right? I judge on a case-by-case basis, and I still don't judge because everyone can change. But at the same time, this is a problem, and that's why I spoke with her earlier. They were talking about the issues early in the show, right? They were talking about how they're running daycares and single moms are dropping off their kid because they want to be out running the street. That's an issue. It's not them. It's others. But they pointed out, that's what I was talking about earlier in the conversation. But check out this.
Oh, Trend didn't know what to do. Woo Lady could take me and get some tricks, da-da-da-da. Y'all do know Woo Lady's a pimp. Like, what she is describing is pimp activity, bro.
Yes.
Like, do y'all not see that? Like,
Pimping.
You think anybody's just gonna give y'all tricks for nothing? Like, think about it. What pimps do? They clean up they hoes and then basically go sell them to the bidders, right? She cleaned Trend up, try to set her up with one of the players. Like, come on. Like, if I had tricks, why would I be sharing my tricks with other women? Unless if I'm pimping them out. Like, come on. 2 + 2 = 4. 5 + 5 = 10. Let's go. And then she over here telling y'all the story, and she making it sound nice. She making it sound good. Like, she making it seem like, you know, she doing it out the kindness of her heart. And maybe partially it is out the kindness of her heart, but let's be real. Like, let's be real. Women just don't be sharing their tricks with other women. Like, no. Why share him when he could get this all for me? Like, unless she's getting something else out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
You know what Woo Lady said? And this lady's right? I reacted to her. I did a video reacting to her. She said, I bring my guys other females. What are they giving her? They're giving her cash. Straight debauchery. They're probably tricking on her. She's getting the money. They may be paying her what? Paying the girls like $100. Smash. Give her $100. They're fine with that $100. Man. But yeah, you girls have to open your minds, open your hearts, and really open your minds, because everything has came to a head now, and it's time to smell a coffee. And it's time to maybe start taking that coffee date to get to know a guy, see what he's about, then make your decision if you're gonna mess with him or not. But yeah, guys, other than that, I just want to thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Peace out. See you next video.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.